Okay, I'm just going to demo real quickly how this particular software works. Um, I'm going to go in and just view the project properties. What you can do with this software is you can tell it to crawl various pages and apply the same extraction pattern to multiple pages. That's how the software is customarily used. In this particular case, because this website used several tables that enumerated the structured data that we wanted to get out of the site, I had to set up an extraction pattern to go ahead and say, hey, searching it within the HTML document, find the child tables with the table rows and start searching each table row and continue searching to be able to populate these results. To be able to gather some of the information, I had to create some custom VBScript to be able to work with this. I'm just going to go in and really look at last name. This does is it goes ahead and it pulls the text and then it applies the script from, it takes all the text out of that table element, the actual cell that it's parsing. And then what it does is it takes that data, it extracts, okay, well, in order to be able to derive the last name, we need to take the table text and we need to apply a couple of filters to the data. So first thing it does is it trims any trailing or leading zero or spaces or returns. Then what it does is it runs a search from what we'll call the full name, which is the string text. And the full name is formatted as first name, last name, and then followed by a comma. And then what the remaining steps in this does is it goes ahead and it removes the bio information if it's present, the website information if it's present, by also limiting and filtering left of the first comma. We also remove any kind of occurrences of the person's credentials. And then to gather the what I would call like kind of the name suffix of certifications behind the person's name, I did a couple of things. I first started out with a similar kind of pattern where we went and we gathered the text from that cell and we removed anything that's junior, senior, or the third, like name suffixes. And what we did was we said, hey, I want to gather everything that's right of the string and I want to return those results with omitting anything that says junior, senior, or the third. So then we just have like their credentials like Bachelor of Arts, BA, or whatever kind of certifications, because it's a financial industry and they do have different kinds of certifications that they just append to their names. What I also did was I applied a filter to be able to say, hey, let's just gather the HTML data from the name field, because there were two different kinds of links appearing in the name cell of that table. And sometimes the links had bios, or sometimes they were links to actual websites for the business entities that the person was in charge of or affiliated with. So what this does is, because there's those two different kinds of circumstances, it will look in that table HTML and it says, hey, if I come across any links that are prepended with bios slash, then what I'm going to do is save that link out, or save that href tag attribute out, which is the relative link to the person's bio on Principal.com. I'm going to append that to Principal.com and I'm going to return that particular result here. It's not really showing previewing well because I haven't actually told it to parse yet. But this is the other contingency. If there is a link appearing within the person's first name, it will go in and it says, all right, now it says in this case, if there is a link appearing in the first name cell of the particular person, then what I want you to do is grab the link result if it does not contain bios /. And that what that does is it actually returns kind of a fully qualified domain name for the affiliated business that Principal has listed. Then what I told it to do is after the name cells, there was another adjoining cell to the right of that had a list of titles. It was all kind of return delimited, so I said, just for good measure, capture all of the text from that particular cell. And then what I said was also grab anything from a line 1, a line 2, a line 3, a line 4. The way I did that was I applied another filter. And what's nice about this software is instead of having to go in and adjust the VBScript manually, I can go in here and I can go ahead and just say, all right, let's use a split string function. And what I want to do is every time we search for a new line or a carriage return, it will go ahead and return whatever instance of that. And then in each case, so because I'm searching for the first one, I'm going to enter a search index of 0. The next one would obviously be 1. The third, which would be actually the second one, and the third one would be 2. So. And then finally, this email function is rather simple. Same kind of concept. It was just an automated function that pulls the email. For the phone function, we did have, because the formatting of the phone numbers were like 515.123.1234, I just had to edit this regular expression pattern right here. So in regular expressions, anything that you're searching for, you can kind of use an OR separator, which is the pipe character. So what this says is in the first set of numbers, if they're kind of separated by a space, and then this pipe here means or a dash, or a period, let's separate that out and use that to search by. And we did that for each kind of delimiter that separates those kind of characters together. Then similarly, I also ran another script to detect for, in the final cell, to detect for any kind of tags that would appear as far as links, and return any tag attributes that have href as the attribute. So that will, in effect, return the LinkedIn attribute. So I'm going to hit OK, and now that the scrape is set up, I'll just go ahead here and I'll click the play button. That's going to go through here, pull all the data out, and it returns my list of structured data from the scrape. So this, once it's in here, I can go ahead and I can export all of the data. I'm going to ignore where it pulled in the printable page and the first record because those are blank records. And I'm just going to go ahead and select Export All. There are a variety of options here to export. You can export to SQL, MySQL, XML, or an Excel file. And of course, we can change how it exports, but that's about it for now.